Hello guys, today we will continue our privilege escalation topic and we will code a malicious service file to replace the legitimate one. Now, in order to replace the service file, our new malicious service file should be able to communicate with Windows Service Control Manager. For instance, when you manually start, stop, pause or resume the service, the Windows Service Control Manager will send a signal or order to the exe service file, and in return, the service file should usually obey the Service Control Manager order. If for any reason the service file or the exe file did not understand that signal, then at this case the Service Control Manager will fail to start the service and you will get such an error. If you notice here, it says that it didn't respond in a timely fashion. So this is the error message that you will get in case the Service Control Manager has failed, to start the service. Okay, right now let's jump to the coding part, and let me first close these windows here. Okay, so first of all, I need to mention that part of my code is inherited from a script that I found on ActiveState website. So here's the link of the original one if you want to double check it. The second thing I recommend, if you can read more about Microsoft Service Control Manager functionality. Last but not least, PyWin library is a prerequisite library to create a Windows service in Python. Our code can be divided into two sections. The first section is about the initializing. In this section, we define a listener for Win Service Manager. Then we pass a service class handler, so whenever we got a signal from the service manager, we will pass it to the service class. Okay, right now let's move to the second part. Okay, here in the second section, we define the action to do when we got a service manager signal. And this will happen within the service class. So here in the first two lines, we specify the service name and the display name. Note that the name that I have chosen, which is SCSI Access, is similar to the original one for Photodex software. So here if we open the services from the task manager, and let me scroll down. Okay, this is the SCI Access. So let me just do, quick management for the window. Okay. Okay, here it is. So the name is exactly match the service name for the vulnerable software here. Okay, next we initialize the service framework and we define in functions style what to do when we got a service manager signal. So here, for example, if the service manager signal was pause, then we will sleep for this time of seconds. Also, if the signal was start, then we will tell the service manager that we are planning to run the service, and this will happen via reporting back a start pending status, as you can see from this line here. Report service status, then start pending. Then within an exception handling, we will tell the service manager that we are currently running up the service, and we will call the start function. If any exception happened, then we will call the stop function here. Now once we execute the start function, in this function we mark a service status flag as true, and we will wait in a while loop for receiving a service stop signal from the service manager. If we got this signal, we move to stop function, which will eventually switch the flag to false. Now inside the stop function, we will do a similar procedure to what we did in the start function. So we will tell the service manager that we are planning to stop the service, then we will execute the stop function, and finally we will tell the service manager that we are currently stopping the service. Now within the stop function, we mark the service status flag as false to break the infinite loop in the start function. Now if I export this script into exe and replace it instead of the scsiaccess.exe, then restart the machine, it should work fine. However, I want to do an extra mile and to prove that we got a system privilege. So let's make sure that the exploitation worked fine, and for this purpose, I made a quick Python script to verify whether we are running as admin or not. So this simple script will simply call isUserAdmin function from Windows, and if the returned value was 0, it means that we are a standard user. Otherwise, it means that we have an admin privilege. Okay, let's give it a quick try here. So let me clear the window and run the script. And here it says that we are not running as admin since we are, in a standard user. So to confirm, if you click on add user, you will get a UIC prompt, which needs to, to elevate your privilege. Anyway, let's run right now as an admin. And for sure here we got the admin password. So let's navigate to the desktop. Users, and it should be non-admin. Now if we run the script, keep in mind that we are running as an administrator. So let's type Python then are we admin, and fair enough, we got that we are running as an admin privilege. And one more time, this is because that before initiating the CMT, I do a right click, then run as administrator. Okay. So I'm gonna use this little trick into our code, and I will inject the check admin script within our malicious service. Obviously, it should be executed once the service gets started, so it should be under the start function. So for now, let me uncomment these lines here. So once we run the service, we will create a text file on the desktop. And inside that text file, we will see what privilege are we running into. All right, let me clear the screen here. So I'm gonna right now export the script into exe, and at this point, all what we have to do is to replace the original exe file with the generated one. So let's go to our setup file, and I'm gonna run the module. Okay. Okay, so this is our malicious service file. Let's go to the original one, phototext. Okay, so since the software is vulnerable, we should be able to replace this one. So I'm gonna rename this one to access 2, and I will simply copy and paste our malicious file here. Okay, so if everything is working fine, our service should run without any error, and we should see a text file on the desktop, and once we open it, it should tell us the privilege that we run into. Alright, let me close the window and do a restart. Alright, here we go. Now notice on the desktop we got a priv text file. So let's try and open this one. And fair enough, we got a text that says that we are running as an administrator. Okay, that's great. So in the next video, we will see how far we can take this by adding a new admin account. I hope to see you there, and thanks for watching.